Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we are going to have a little chat about what might happen with the preview tomorrow, and just a little quick update channel-wise, because at the start of the week I covered the Dominion release preview stream thing, the what happens after Dominion, here's a bunch of cool stuff, that Warhammer preview that we had last weekend. And I said at the time that I'd had a bit of a dental emergency the week before, but things looked back to normal, and we should hopefully be moving back into the space of just doing videos all the time. And that was Monday, and it's now Friday, and you may have noticed that there was no uploads since then. That's because I made the mistake of thinking that we were kind of out of the woods. We were in the clear. It was all good, except it wasn't. My face was still swollen, my mouth still hurt, and I'm still prone to bleeding everywhere if I just talk too much or move my mouth in the wrong way, which is not ideal when the whole basis of, well, having a YouTube channel is that you talk to people and you make videos about things. And it's very hard to make videos when you have to stop every now and again because you keep dribbling blood from the roof of your mouth into said mouth, and then it just sort of looks like you've turned into some sort of cannibal, or you're just flat out dying. Neither is a great look, so yeah. Been a bit of a pain the last couple of weeks. You can probably tell by the way I'm talking, I'm not quite 100% there yet. It's still healing, it's still super raw. Basically I've got like a crack, like a tear in the roof of my mouth, down to where my gums are at the top, which just makes talking really difficult, because after a little bit, all of the kind of clotting and stuff that keeps it from bleeding gets worn away by the process of talking, and then it starts bleeding again, and then it starts getting really raw, and it's just irritating. It's just one of those things where it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not like the most devastating, horrendous injury. It's not any sort of like long-lasting, life-changing problem. It's just annoying, but it's been annoying for like 2 weeks. Which, after a while, you're just like, any chance? Any chance we could just not have this now? But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll sort. Just taking a bit longer than I was hoping it would. Now, let's have a little chat about tomorrow, because there is a Warhammer Preview Online tomorrow. It is this, the Octarius, who knows? It could be any of those pronunciations. Online, Warhammer Preview Online, Octarius, mission briefing, and this one is, they've changed the times, right? So it's going to be 6 PM UK time, which means that it's 1 PM for the US, because I believe previously it was way, well, I say 1 PM for the US. Depending on where you are in the US, you've got New York and Los Angeles times on there. I think previously it was like 5 AM for LA, which is not ideal. It's not brilliant. It means that you've got to be up super early if you want to watch the thing. I can see why they've changed it, even though it makes it much more inconvenient for making a video for me, because 6 PM is when I need to be feeding my kids. So that's very inconsiderate from my personal perspective, but for everyone else, it's fine, and that's the important bit. Really, it's only an inconvenience to me because I want to make a video about it straight after, and that makes it more difficult, but frankly, that is not a consideration, and it shouldn't be a consideration, so it's fine. So yeah, we've got this. Now, this is interesting because, well, for a few different reasons. So, there's a large Tyranid presence, right? Octarius, there's quite a large Tyranid presence. There's also some Orc stuff as well. In fact, they specifically said that it's going to be mighty, fighty and green, so you can assume there's going to be quite a bit of Orc action going on. But the bit that interests me, and the bit that is fascinating to me, are the rumours that have been floating around, which ordinarily we would have talked about sooner, but, you know, face, which kind of suggest that there might be some sort of Death Korps of Krieg thing going on. And that's interesting because, of course, Death Korps of Krieg, they are a Forge World range. They are all resin, they are not plastic. And everything that I've seen, and from what I've heard, and from what people have been talking about, it seems to be suggested that there's going to be a new Kill Team box, which, in fairness, the mission briefing thing, the Octarius mission briefing, is in the Kill Team font. And a lot of people are thinking that what it's going to be is a new Kill Team box featuring Orcs and Death Korps. So, a plastic version of our favourite lads. Our favourite Krieg lads. And I'm honestly kind of in two minds about that. Because on the one hand, I would buy plastic Death Korps of Krieg immediately, instantly. I wasn't planning on having any infantry for my armour company, but I would absolutely end up filling out that army with infantry. I would end up with a massive army of it because, I mean, affordable Krieg? Sign me up right now. I'm in. I'm 100% in on that because they are great models. They are great sculpts. They look amazing. but they are resin. They are expensive. I mean, when you're talking about spending like £40, £45 is it? Something like that, on a 10-man squad for Imperial Guard, that is a bit ludicrous. That's just getting silly. When it comes to actually having a full army of them, that's a huge amount of money, considering that Imperial Guard, the troops they're chaff. They're just absolute chaff. They are there to get minced up and mangled, and that's fine. That's what they're for. But do you really want to spend, hundreds and hundreds of pounds to fill out your army with beautiful resin that also just don't cost anything in terms of points to field? It's a bit of an ask. It's a big ask for most people, which, I mean, it's already an expensive hobby, but then you get into Forge World stuff, which is just a level above, and yeah, it's a bit much. Whereas Plastic Krieg, that could make them a lot more approachable for a lot more people, myself included. The thing is, much though that would be awesome, much though I'd love it, and much though I'd be hard-pressed to resist, do we really need Plastic Krieg? Given that we currently have, like, two regiments that are readily available. You've got the Cadians, and you've got Catachan. Catachan sculpts are all old as hell. In fact, both of them are. Let's be honest. Both Cadian and Catachan infantry boxes are ancient. Now, of course, the Cadian box now has that extra sprue in it with some more special weapons and, a greater variety of heads, which is fine. That's great. More variety is always good. But the actual sculpts haven't been updated. Only those bits of those sculpts have been updated. Catachan is way, way behind in terms of that. They don't even have any of those extra sprues. They are just as they were, and they're showing their age. There are a bunch of different regiments. You've got the Steel Legion and the Vostroyans, and there's so many that we could have, instead of having a plastic version of a range that is already available. Because this is the thing, Plastic Krieg is a great idea, but Resin Krieg already exist, and so it's not like we're missing out on that regiment. It's not like it doesn't exist. It's not like it's not possible to build an army of those. It is, it's just expensive. Whereas, when you look at like Steel Legion, you can't build an army of that. Unless they do another made-to-order thing, they're not available. Same with the Vostroyans, for example. I mean, I've picked those two because those two are my favourites, but that's basically where that's come from. But like if you want to start like a full Mordian army, but you can't because the kits aren't available. Krieg you can already buy. Yes, it's expensive, it's very expensive, but you can still purchase them if you want, and making them more affordable is great if that's what's happening. But is it as important as actually having, actual new kits for other regiments? I don't know that it is. And yet, I really want to see it. Like, I really want it to be a thing. It's a weird thing of, yes, this would be awesome to see. Yes, it would make it more affordable. Yes, it would make it very tempting for me. But do we need it necessarily, given that this is a range that already exists and is already supported? Maybe we don't. Maybe we actually need other regiments to have their stuff back for Imperial Guard. Now, of course, there'll be more Orc stuff revealed. We know that. There's going to be a giant squig pulling some sort of vehicle. We know that as well, which is going to be fun. It's going to be interesting to see if we actually have new Tyranid stuff. That would be great to see. Any sort of Xenos updates would be wonderful. Get round to more Eldar sometime soon. That would be delightful as well, because dear God, that is like the oldest range you have. Do something with it, please. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of in two minds. Of course, all of this is kind of like, what is the phrase? It's all academic until we actually see what's revealed. All of that could be totally irrelevant, because it might not exist. It might not be a thing that is real. But yeah, it's something to look out for, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what they do with this particular preview, because my expectations are brand new shiny toys for Orcs, brand new shiny toys for Tyranids, and possibly a plastic version of a really good resin range. It's just whether we need that plastic version that is the question. But then again, it would be Imperial Guard getting more updates, which is something that's hard to say no to regardless of how it comes about. So, I don't know, it's kind of up in the air, but it'll be interesting to see. What we will do is cover the preview on Sunday, because I most likely won't have time for it on Saturday, to be honest. Plus, having recorded this video, I can already feel something has opened up, which is not great, because I've still got the Patreon Q&A to record as well, so that might be somewhat stunted. We'll see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. I'm looking forward to taking a look at that on Saturday, and we'll talk about it on the Sunday, hopefully, with some amazing new models to gawk at, to drool over, And frankly, I'm finding it very easy to draw at pretty much anything at the moment. So let me know what you are expecting from the preview in the comments down below. If you have any predictions, any wild predictions. Oh, we need to do a prediction. Let's do a Primarch prediction. If they bring a Primarch back for this, which they probably won't, it seems very unlikely. Anyway, I'm going to say Lorgar this time. Sure, why not? Lorgar comes back. Yeah, got nothing to do with anything. It seems very unlikely. Probably won't happen. But imagine if it did. Amazing. Pointless, but amazing. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click it if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link in the description down below which you can use to support me if you would like. I leave it in your capable hands. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.